Maybe skip the reunion this year, honey. The lake house is getting pretty crowded with your sister's kids and your brother's new family. My mom's text glowed on my phone screen as I sat in my realtor's office, pen hovering over the final paperwork to purchase Pine Valley Resort. My name is Anna Mitchell. I'm 34, and I was about to become the owner of the most prestigious lakeside resort in Vermont, located right next to my family's beloved summer home. The same family who had just uninvited me from our annual reunion. We just want to keep it intimate this year. Another text buzzed in. You understand, right? You're single. It's easier for you to make other plans. I smiled, signing the final document with a calm, steady hand. Course, Mom. No problem at all. Enjoy the reunion. What they didn't know. The two crowded cabins they were squeezing into sat directly beside the 50-acre luxury resort I now owned. 15 years of saving. Careful investments. Every penny from the meaningless office job my sister Kate mocked. Finally paying off. Congratulations, Ms. Mitchell. My realtor beamed. Pine Valley Resort is officially yours. Kept my success quiet. Let them believe I was the dependable one with no real ambition. Kate, with her perfect family and curated online life, always got the spotlight. Mark, with his tech startup, was the golden boy. And me, I was just Anna, the helper, the babysitter, the one left out when space was tight. But this time, I had plans of my own. The next few weeks were a blur. Renovations, hiring, upgrades. I overhauled the resort, luxury cabins, a state-of-the-art spa, a restaurant, a marina with sleek new boats. The crowning jewel, an infinity pool that looked directly onto the lake, and my family's house. The timing was no accident. Text after text rolled in. Kate, since you're not coming, we turned your room into the kids' play area. Mark, sorry sis. You know how it is. Maybe next year. Mom, sending you pics of the new patio set. See what you're missing. Each message only made me more focused, more certain. A week before the reunion, my phone rang. Anna, it's terrible, my mother cried. They're renovating that rundown resort next door. There's noise and trucks. It's ruining everything. In the background, Kate's voice rang out. Mom, this is awful. It's going to ruin all my Instagram photos. I looked out from my sleek office window as a delivery truck dropped off designer patio furniture. Oh, that does sound terrible, I said gently. But I'm sure it'll all work out. We should have invited you, Mom sighed. You're always so good at handling this stuff. But there just wasn't room. Don't worry about me, I said. I made other plans. The day before the reunion, I watched them arrive. Kate and her family in matching outfits, Mark unloading drones and gadgets, my parents barking orders like generals. I could see them glaring at the new resort, clearly irritated by the sleek cars pulling in. That evening, a group text from Kate lit up my phone. OMG, have you seen this place? They turned the resort into some luxury monstrosity. Rich snobs everywhere. I smiled, adjusting my blazer. The grand opening had begun. Through the tall windows of the resort's lobby, I could see my family gathering on their deck, pointing and whispering. Tomorrow, when they came to complain, they'd be greeted by me, seated behind the owner's desk. Sometimes the best revenge isn't confrontation. It's quiet, undeniable success. I turned to my assistant. Make sure the Mitchell family next door gets a special welcome basket. They're about to meet the owner. The morning of the reunion was sunny and clear. I sipped my coffee, watching through my office window as familiar chaos unfolded. Dad burning breakfast on the grill, Mom organizing crafts, Kate chasing content, Mark flying his drone. And then, at 9:43 a.m., right on schedule. This is unacceptable. My mother's voice echoed as she stormed into the lobby. Showtime. I want to speak to the owner, my mother snapped, storming into the resort lobby. My assistant Sophie didn't flinch. Her polite smile stayed in place. Of course, ma'am. Right this way. I stood as they entered my office, hiding the smile tugging at my lips. The moment my parents saw me, it was everything I'd imagined. Mom froze mid-step. Her prepared complaint vanished. Dad's eyes darted between me and the elegant Lakeview office. Anna, Mom whispered. What are you doing here? I work here, I said evenly. Actually, I am here. Pine Valley Resort is mine. Dad blinked, stunned. That's impossible. How could you? When did you? 15 years of smart investments, long hours, and keeping my life off social media, I said calmly. You never asked, so I never told. Mom sank into a leather chair, looking pale. But you never said anything about having this kind of money. Would it have mattered? Asked gently. Would it have made the lake house less crowded? Before they could respond, the door flew open. Kate walked in, her designer sundress fluttering. Mom, the spa's fully booked and she stopped dead. Her eyes landed on me. Anna, what is going on? Mom spoke softly, almost in disbelief. Your sister owns the resort. Kate's carefully polished expression cracked. That's ridiculous. Anna works some boring office job. She couldn't possibly. She trailed off, staring at my tailored suit and the polished nameplate on my desk. Surprise, I said mildly. That boring job paid off. Mark appeared next, drawn by the commotion. His reaction was instant. He laughed. Oh, this is perfect. All these years we thought you were just... And the whole time you were building this. Sis, you're a genius. The resort opens to the public next week, I explained, watching them all absorb it. This weekend is a soft opening for special guests. I paused, then added, I've reserved the best cabins for you if you're interested. A bit roomier than the lake house. But our reunion, Mom said weakly, can go on exactly as planned, I said, smiling. Just with access to a 5-star restaurant, luxury spa, private marina, and that infinity pool Kate's been photographing all morning. Kate flushed. I did post about how beautiful it looked. I saw, I replied. All 27 posts. A long silence followed. The kind filled with everything left unspoken. Dismissed invitations, overlooked accomplishments, assumptions they'd never questioned. Dad finally cleared his throat. Anna, honey, we may have underestimated you. May have. Mark snorted. We completely missed the fact that our sister was building an empire next door. Mom stood, smoothing her skirt nervously. The cabins you mentioned. Are they really available? I pressed a button on my desk. Sophie entered with 5 elegant keycard holders. The presidential cabins are ready whenever you are, I said. They even have a perfect view of the lake house. In case you're feeling nostalgic for the cramped quarters. Kate took a card, studying the resort's gold-embossed logo. I can't believe my little sister owns this place. My followers are going to. Your followers can wait, Mom cut in, surprising us both. She turned to me, voice soft. Anna, we owe you an apology. We haven't been fair. No, I said, you haven't. But right now there's a champagne brunch waiting in the private dining room. I'd hate for it to go to waste. As they followed Sophie out, Mark lingered. You know what the best part is, he said, grinning. You let us exclude you from the lake house. Just so you could include us in something so much better. That's either brilliant revenge or incredible generosity. I straightened a framed photo on my desk. One from years ago, when the lake house still felt like home. Maybe, I said. It's a bit of both. Later that weekend. To my surprise, Kate was the first to really talk to me. I found her in the spa lobby early Saturday, standing in front of the resort's press wall, reading news clippings about its development. You know what kills me, she said quietly, not turning around. All those times I bragged about my influencer deals and Mark's startup. And you just smiled. You never once rubbed this in our faces. Would you have believed me if I had? I asked, stepping beside her. She shook her head. Probably not. We were so convinced we knew who you were. Quiet one. The helper. The one who didn't need to be included. She trailed off. Her words hung in the air like smoke. Because I was alone, I finished for her. Because I didn't have kids or a flashy job you could show off at the country club. Kate finally looked at me. I'm sorry, she said. We were wrong. For the first time in years I believed she meant it. God, we were awful, Kate whispered. And the whole time you were building this while we weren't even looking. Later that afternoon I spotted Dad lounging by the infinity pool, watching Mom attempt paddleboarding out on the lake, one of the resort's many curated activities. As I approached, he patted the empty chair beside him. Remember when you were 10, he said as I sat down. You set up that lemonade stand. But it wasn't just lemonade. You had flavors, prices, even loyalty cards made out of index cards. I laughed softly. You told me I was overthinking it. He shook his head. I was wrong. You weren't overthinking anything. You were showing us exactly who you were going to become. We were just too distracted by Kate's dance recitals and Mark's science fairs to notice. Mom joined us then, wrapped in one of the resort's plush white robes, her cheeks flushed from the lake breeze. The instructors here are incredible, she gushed, then caught herself. Well, of course they are. You hired them. Not quite, I said with a small smile. I hire people who know how to hire the right people. That's what leadership is. Knowing when to step back and let experts do what they do best. Like you stepped back and let us make fools of ourselves all these years. Dad said gently. Before I could answer, Mark arrived with his wife and kids, all dressed in resort-branded swimwear. You didn't make fools of yourselves, I said. You just had a different version of success in mind. One that didn't include your quiet sister with the boring office job. Sunday morning. Last day. I invited everyone to breakfast in my private penthouse suite, perched high above the lake. From up here, the old lake house looked so small. And yet, once, it had been the entire center of our family world. Mom set down her coffee and looked at me, serious now. Are you going to sell it? The resort? Is this some kind of statement? Chuckled. No, Mom. This isn't revenge. This is my life's work. I'm keeping it, growing it, maybe even opening more locations someday. This is what I've been trying to tell you for years. I had dreams too. They just didn't look like yours. Well, I for one am glad you're keeping it, Kate said brightly. My social media engagement has tripled since I started posting about my sister's luxury resort. I smiled and slid an envelope across the table. Speaking of posting, here's something you might want to share. Inside were lifetime VIP memberships for each of them, year-round access to every amenity the resort offered. The lake house might get crowded, I said. But the resort will always have room for family. Dad's voice wavered as he picked up the card. Anna, we don't deserve this. No, I agreed softly. But that's family, right? Sometimes you get more than you deserve, and learn to be grateful for it. That afternoon they packed their cars with gift bags and promises to return. Mom hugged me tighter than she had in years. Next reunion, she whispered. We'll be here. And you'll be the first one we call. I watched them drive away from my balcony, overlooking the lake. The lake house stood quietly across the water, a symbol of both the best and the hardest parts of our past. But behind me, my resort buzzed with new life, new memories, and everything I'd built with care and vision. My phone buzzed. Family group chat notification. Kate had just posted a new photo series. All of us by the infinity pool, laughing together under the sun. Her caption read, "Sometimes the sister you exclude from the lake house turns out to own the resort next door. Sorry, Anna, I'll never underestimate you again. #family reunion, #proud sister, #lesson learned." I smiled, typing my reply. Next year, bring sunscreen. The lake house might be full, but the infinity pool has room for everyone. #family first. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's proving that success comes in many forms, and there's always room for growth, forgiveness, and maybe even an upgrade to a luxury cabin with a lake view.